Welcome back to Mass Appeal. So, was it just a door creaking, or was it something else?
Well, we'll have to
know.
find out. Randy Manso and Jessica Marcino are part of the Western Mass Paranormal Society. They are here to talk about what they do and to show us some of their findings. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Western Mass Paranormal Society. Well, I think your name kind of speaks for itself, but tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, we're a group of four of us that are interested in the paranormal. So we've banded together and we investigate locations throughout Western Mass and beyond. Anyone that's interested in a free service, we come out and investigate the house if there's any alleged paranormal activity.
All right, so Jessica, do you ever get scared when you go on these investigations?
I have to admit, sometimes I do get scared when the guys shove me in the basement by myself. But I think I've earned my place now.
It's called an isolation session where we individually go. We individually go into different areas by ourselves, and she usually ends up in the basement somehow.
Or the attic.
Yeah.
Up or down.
All right, well, remind me to never go on any investigation with them.
Take us through said investigation, though. So what's it like? Someone calls you and says, I think there's something spooky in my house.
Yeah.
You go, what do you do?
Well, usually what happens is I'll set up the investigation, make a phone call. We'll set up a time to meet them before the investigation to kind of sit down with them and tell them what it's all about. Once we get there, we bring all the equipment in. Usually the owner will let us know what the hotspots are. We'll put the cameras on the hotspots and the voice recorders as well, and then we get going.
Interesting. All right, so let's jump right to some of the findings that you guys brought with you today. So we're going to listen to some voice clips. All right, give us a little preview of what we're about to hear for the first one.
The first one is a house down in Suffield, Connecticut. It was an old farmhouse that we had access to. Corey and I were actually, this is one of our first investigations, and we were looking for the way to get out of the room, and we asked where the door is.
All right.
Let's take a look.
Okay.
It's a pretty clear one.
So it's obviously a female voice, and it's Corey and I were the only ones there that night. So you hear the female voice come in after that happens.
Ooh, chills.
And Corey is a member of your team,
Yes.
and you don't necessarily hear all of these things the first go around. Is that right?
No, we didn't even hear that until afterwards. Actually, we listened to it right after the investigation, and we picked it up right away. So.
My goodness. All right, we've got about 2 minutes. So let's listen to the. Well, actually, give us a little preview of what we're about to hear next.
Next one is actually down in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. I go down to North Carolina a lot, so on my way there, I stopped at Gettysburg. So.
All right, let's hear some Gettysburg.
So you hear gunshots and you hear soldiers yelling in the background.
Wow. Well, that's a little.
Yeah.
And when you do this, it's dead silent
Dead
when you set
silent,
all this
nothing.
up, and you almost sit around and just kind of wait for it all to happen,
Right,
and then you break down the tape.
Yep.
You're a brave guy. All right, now we have some pictures we want to
Okay.
show. We're going to skip the last voice clip
Sure.
just because we're almost out of time, but let's go through the pictures. So tell us what we're seeing here.
The first one is a scratch that you see on my hand that I received out in Granby from there was a child supposedly that was in the room, and you actually hear a giggle on the voice recorder after the scratch.
And we actually saw Randy reacting to this when the spirit or entity did scratch him. Corey and I actually saw him react to it, so it's pretty creepy.
My goodness. All right, next picture.
Those are footsteps at the house. There's a house that we actually saw an apparition. The only apparition we've ever seen, and there's footsteps that are burnt into the floor that still are still there.
Wow.
Wow. Okay, let's go to the next picture.
This is one of our best. This is an orb. You hear about orbs a lot. Usually they're see-through. This is a typical, really good evidence of an orb. It's almost like a disco ball in the middle of the room. And
So
that was at the Charlemagne Inn, yeah.
Just showed up in a picture.
Yep.
So it's not something you saw initially, but when you went back and
Right,
looked at the tape.
we heard voices and we'd start taking pictures. And the last one is at a school in Springfield, elementary school. It's in the basement, and there's a picture. It's a shadow figure that you see like on our Facebook page. You can see it better. It looks like an arm and a body.
My goodness. Were you in that basement, Jessica?
I was not at that basement.
Good, that's not the one that
not
they
in that
locked you
basement,
into?
What's that?
I was going to say, it's not one of the basements that you locked
No,
you in.
we didn't, no.
Thank
All right,
you.
so
It's nice
people
of you.
want to get in touch with you for any type of investigation. How can they do that?
On our Facebook page, in westernmassparanormal.com, and on our Facebook, or on our website has our phone number too that they can contact us.
Wonderful. Well, guys, hey, more power to you, I have to say, because I don't think I'd be able to do that.
Yeah,
I have a lot of
much less
respect
be
for what
locked
you
in a
do. Thanks for
basement.
sharing that with
Thank
us.
you.
Thank you for having us.
And ahead